Hi friends, today we are going to start module number 6. As I already said in my previous video, module number 6 part A, that is English for special purposes. English for special purposes. You know, English is an international language. Hindi is our national language and Marathi is our mother tongue. If you want to go abroad and live abroad, but in your South India also, if you go to South India and you try to speak in Hindi language or in your Marathi language with the people, native people of southern part of country, they will definitely not speak with you in Hindi or Marathi language because they don't know. Either they would speak in their native language, that is Tamil, Kerala, or Malayalam or Kannada, or in English language. They do not consider Hindi as a national language, and that's why they always try to speak in English or their native language. So in our own country, if you want to speak with the southern people, you must be able to speak in English only, because you don't know Tamil, Malayalam, Kerala and Kannada language, and they don't know your Marathi language and Hindi language. They understand Hindi language, but they prefer to speak in English rather than Hindi. So it is quite essential to learn English properly with its grammatical part. We have already learned grammar in 7th and 8th standard. Here I am not going to teach you grammar since from 7th and 8th standard, and you are now in the class of BSc part 1st, and that's why it is accepted that you know English grammar. It is granted that you are able to speak in English with grammatical appropriateness. So better way not to discuss on grammar, but to discuss on English language and its use. Learners of English learn English with different purposes. There are various purposes behind learning English language. Some of us want to use English for day-to-day communication. Some people try to learn English for their day-to-day communication. Some want to use it for impressing others. This is a matter of pride. Some people want to impress others by speaking in English. I personally think that one should not speak any kind of language or any language to impress others. Language is the medium of communication, mind it well. And if you want to convey your thoughts, your thinking, your attitudes, your opinions, language is the medium to express all these things. And if you don't have appropriate words in a particular language, you can't express yourself in that particular language. So understand first that you must have sound vocabulary in a particular language to express yourself. Otherwise, it is quite difficult to speak. Some students don't have sound vocabulary in their native language also, in Marathi, in Hindi. There are some Muslim students. Which is their language? Their language is Muslim. But they still don't have sound vocabulary in Hindi language. Hindi belongs to Urdu language. Urdu is the father of Hindi language. So, if you don't have sound words, you are unable to express yourself in your native language also. So some people are hesitant in speaking. You might have seen many times around you. Some people are hesitating while speaking in their native language only because of they don't have sound vocabulary with them. In this way, you must have sound vocabulary in English so that you can express yourself in English powerfully, perfectly, appropriately by using an appropriate word. Many learn it for educational purpose. A few want to learn it because they want to get a job in a particular field. So this is the language through which you can get a job also. Some sectors are there. Suppose you want to join a government sector, you must know English properly, very well. Fluency in English is quite essential in a government sector, at the same time in a corporate sector also. If you want to join a job in a corporate sector, you must have a sound knowledge with sound vocabulary in English. Because I have visited many times corporate sector. I think I was in Infosys for 10 days. Pune, in Saudi. You are not allowed to speak a single word in your native language, that is Marathi, in that campus. When I visited the campus along with Professor Nanavare, JG, assistant professor in physics in our college, we are not allowed to speak Marathi language for 10 days in that campus. When we came out from that campus, we forgotten Marathi words. And suppose we wanted to speak in Marathi, we tried to remember the particular word for a particular saying. So this is the impact of language. Mind it well. If you want to develop your language, you have to think in particular language first of all. Then automatically you enrich yourself with sound vocabulary. Because there are intention to search a particular word for a particular meaning. Unless and until you find out the word, proper word, you cannot speak. You know that, and that's why you always try to find out the words, proper words, with the help of dictionary, by going to the library, by reading the newspapers in English. It is quite essential to speak in English, write in English, behave in English if you want to get a job in a corporate and government sector. A few want to learn it because they want to get a job in a particular field, and a few want to learn it as a challenge. Is it a challenge? Learning English, is it a challenge? What do you think? If you feel it is difficult, it is a challenge. If you feel that learning English is a difficult one, then this is a challenge to learn. But overcome the challenge must be our nature. This is a very little challenge to learn English language. But there are many challenges in your future life. After your graduation, you will have to face many challenges. You will have to overcome all these challenges and get your desirable motto, desirable destiny. You must be confident one. Purpose of learning English differ from person to person. There are many persons in the world. There are many persons in the world. There are many people who want to learn English, but the intention of learning English differs from people to person to person. ESP attempts to address these different purposes of learning English. ESP means English for special purposes. This attempts to address these different purposes of learning English. ESP separates all these different interests of learning English and helps them to simplify the process. What it does, it separates all these different interests. Suppose you have different interest and your friend have different interest. ESP differentiates your interest and his interest and helps both of you to simplify the process. ESP provides platform to develop linguistic abilities in order to use them in a specific field of inquiry. There are many abilities, linguistic abilities. If you want to develop your linguistic ability, it will help you definitely. By using them in a specific field of inquiry, occupation and workplace. What is your requirement? That will be found out. What is your occupation or what is your workplace? Where you are working? What is the type of your occupation? That will be found out, and according to that profession, according to that workplace, you will be taught. It separates use of English in different fields such as engineering. The language used in engineering field is different than the language used in technology, science, medicine, pharmacy, advertisement, commerce, law, marketing, literature, philosophy, administration, and many more. There are plenty of fields. In which field you are going to do your career is the major point. If you want to become an engineer, your language should be different. If you want to become a professor, your language is different. You want to develop your career in the field of medicine, that is, you want to become a doctor, your language should be a different one. Pharmacy, different language. Advertisement is a new career. You can do career in the field of advertisement also. In the commerce field also, commercial language, commerce language is different one, law language is different one. If you read the books of laws, Indian laws, if you want to become an advocate, your language as an advocate, as an engineer, as a doctor, as a scientist, as a professor, different language. An engineer and a professor cannot speak the same language because they have their own different profession, and according to profession you have to use the language. Suppose I am a professor and I am using this language, the same language cannot be used by any engineer or any doctor or any CA or any advocate, because my language is developed according to my profession. I'm in the field of teaching and I have to or I must use easy and understandable words for the student. They should understand. They must understand what I am speaking about. If they will not understand, there is no meaning of my lecture. If they are unable to understand my lecture, it is useless. But if you are getting a right point through my lecture, then only my lecture will be useful one. And for that purpose, English for special purposes is essential to learn properly. The remaining part of the extract we will see in my next video. This is just an introduction of this lesson. We will see each and every aspect of English for special purposes in my next lectures. Please visit Google Classroom. I have shared a link also and code also in the group of BSc Part 1 students. So visit Google Classroom and enjoy the lectures there also. Thank you.